heard the famous story, we took a bus trip to Charlotte to visit the offices of numerous public accounting firms and attend a career fair. It officially kicked off the networking extravaganza that was Meet the Firms. On the trip, I posed a question at every single firm we visited. Each time, I prefaced my question with Scott Sprouse MSA. Immediately, it stuck, and a star was born. The first quarter of the program was challenging. I'm sure we all recall mergers and acquisitions. Dr. Ratness, thank you for simplifying one of the hardest topics in the program. Without a step-by-step walkthrough and choosing to practice the same problems repeatedly, late into the night, who knows where I'd be today. Choices defined our program this year. Most of us faced decisions on how to market ourselves for employment. We attended countless mixers, pre-interview dinners, interviews, and office visits. Some of us faced the choice of which offer to accept, or whether to accept an offer at all. These were monumental decisions that will shape our lives, and we were only in quarter number 1. Quarter 2 was the single hardest in the program for me, thanks in large part to an overload class and a short little quiz in which I think Dr. Hennig only graded half of my exam. She made the choice to offer an extra credit quiz to help the class out, and I still struggled in choosing the right answer. Outside of being the toughest quarter, I'm sure we all recall the day in between Dr. Ivancevich and Dr. Montz's class when a certain t-shirt debate got hot and heavy. As co-chair of the fundraising committee, I was faced with heading up the class t-shirt discussions, or otherwise known as Project Impossible. The quote I opened with today was what many of us decided to place on the back of our t-shirt. It's our class quote. It was all thought up by one of the most creative and, might I add, best singers and dancers in the program. Excellent work, TJ. Ultimately, thanks to Lauren and TJ for making creative and helpful choices and assisting us, we would put together a very respectable shirt. Our class t-shirt became a regular in the rotation of Mr. Adam Taylor. Adam was paired with Lindsay, Amy, and myself to formulate the Core 4, our first official team to complete group assignments. While it wasn't necessarily a choice to work together, we did choose to exemplify a stunning capacity to engage in fun-filled group text messages. The third quarter of our program kicked off with a bang, as many of us hopped across the pond and visited Paris and London. Once more, choices became self-evident. The choice on whether to go for the full European experience, as opposed to sleep or deal with jet lag, was one in which I have no regrets. Sleep is for those who had to take the international management class that we got academic credit for, and visiting locations like Wimbledon and the Eiffel Tower. After numerous problems with security, and having a roast beef sandwich, and having it confiscated from my bag thanks to a cute little customs dog's appetite, we safely made it back to the United States. Returning from Europe did wonders for restoring my sleep routine, and for good reason, as the coursework of the third quarter of our program would require ample time and persistence. There was a day in the third quarter of our program in which I made the choice to delay and put off a certain SQL access project. As I worked well into the night, I immediately became immersed into a project that many of my classmates had already completed. I think it's safe to say I made a better choice right there. As the third quarter concluded and spring break was upon us, for many, so was the full-on pressure of passing the CPA exam. Becker had become everyone's new best friend. And I hate to say it, Mr. Becker, but haven't you ever heard of TMI, or too much information? Our fourth quarter brought about classes with both Dr. Elikai and Dr. Montz. Quite a tough duo to work on Harvard business cases and Deloitte True Blood cases. Nevertheless, thank you, Dr. Montz and Dr. Elikai, for making the choice to use those materials and ultimately giving us the option to enhance our analytical ability. As we approached the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter, we were all prepared for a break. But not before one tough goal line stand in which we had to push the pencil while eating our fruits and veggies in an attempt to wrap it up. The summer session, or overtime shall I say, was truly one of the greatest moments of my life. Outside of the stresses of staring unemployment in the face and not knowing what's next, we unified as a program to attack the last 2 challenging classes. Luckily, we had plenty of fun along the way, like playing golf for 2 days at Landfall. We had enthusiastic guest speakers and practicum projects that offered a glance as to what to expect next. I even got to model in a fashion show. As I stand on this stage today, I'd like to thank everyone who directly or indirectly made this day possible. I'd like to thank the professors and faculty here at UNCW, the parents and friends in attendance, and most importantly, every single classmate and newly inducted member of my personal network moving forward. I can't wait to witness the bright futures of each and every one of you. Ultimately, they say if you find something you love doing each and every day, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, guys, I'm not sure how that applies to us. So with a positive attitude, I have no doubt that we will face whatever comes next with a smile on my face. What does come next? Well, that's a good question, UNCW class of 2013. The answer, of course, is that the choice is yours. I'm Sprouse MSA, and I thank you for your time.